Newbee's turn to ban. MVP's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. Newbee's turn to ban.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to some more Dota 2. We've got MVP Phoenix up against Newbee. I'm OD Pixel, I'll be joined by Drasko once again. We're into game 1 of this series, and indeed as we reach the end of the group stages, things getting very, very important for both teams. I believe according to the standings, Newbee of course already in a good position. If they get themselves 1 win, they're pretty safe. If they get themselves 2, they're pretty sure they're 100% safe for upper bracket. MVP Phoenix, of course, if they are able to 2-0 this series, they will be able to force a tiebreaker situation. I believe if they 1-1, they are relying on Liquid 1-1ing their series and not 2-0ing Secret. Which of course is something that you don't really want to be relying on if you're MVP. So they are going to do their best to take this series 2-0 against Newbee, but at the same time, Newbee today have been looking very, very strong. We just saw them now against Secret, and there's absolutely no mercy at all from the side of Newbee. And well, here we have it into the draft already. MVP opening with Mirana and the Naga Siren, and Newbee with a Slardar first pick into a Disruptor. That's something a little bit different.
I think it's mainly to deny it from MVP. We know that QO in the past loves to play that hero. I mean, MP has been seen on that a little bit, but mostly it's a QO thing, and it makes sense to me. They just play around it so well. They highly prioritize it. Back at WePlay, they said, or QO himself said that he thought the hero was actually just imbalanced. So, kind of makes sense if you want to take away something that the enemy team prioritizes so highly. And in that regard, MVP Phoenix, they're going for the Chuan bans. They take out the Lion, they take out the Shadow Demon. Like, we saw what you did to Secret with these heroes. We're not going to let you do the same thing to us.
Absolutely, yeah. Chuan's Lion play has always been reliable. It's very hard to pick out a game where he's had a bad performance on it. And, they're not going to follow through with a further Chuan ban. Now they look to target mid lane, target those potential Mu heroes. Alk will be removed. It'll be in response. What does it take away from MVP? Whatever they do, this is going to be an exciting series. Us ourselves, we've actually not had the treat of casting an MVP game.
5 seconds remaining.
That's actually true. Yeah, we haven't seen. Well, we've seen MVP games, but we haven't.
But personally, we haven't.
Right.
We haven't casted. So I am looking forward to this one.
And they've had a lot of hype games.
Yeah, they really have. So hopefully, we get some more hype indeed in here. Obviously, they've just come off a series where I believe they won one with Fnatic. It was a straight draw between the sides. And Newbee, of course, as I mentioned, have just come out of a 2-0 victory against the side of Team Secret.
And they'll be feeling good about themselves for the time being, but MVP, push over, contesting the middle of the pack there with Newbee. And still looking at the second phase bans, taking out the Lich. I mean, it's obviously very good against Slardar. Having that armor, the slow, whenever you're trying to chase somebody down, even with sprint speed, can be relatively annoying. It's very good at stopping, pushing on towers. It's a good lane control hero as well, and MVP with the massive amount of respect.
Yeah, the Spectre ban. I mean, I guess they must have caught wind of Hal's performance in the series against Secret.
Yeah.
But
it's a bit strange,
a lot of respect.
Because in the past, a lot of people think, or thought, maybe it's different now, but a lot of people thought that Naga Siren was really good against Spectre because you just saw him whenever you see Haunt come out. And then all the illusions are asleep, and it's just like, okay, well, your Haunt doesn't really do anything. But, I mean, this is just respecting the player, I think, more than it is the individual hero, because we saw how good Hal was. How good Hal was. Right. That is correct. Just sounds weird. But he played a phenomenal Spectre up against Team Secret, and once again, MVP are just looking at the last games and trying to find some kind of pattern that Newbee are going for here, that they just don't want to let him get in their comfort zone, and rightfully so.
Yeah, and the hero as well. It just works really, really well with both Disruptor and Slardar. You know, the vision game, being able to get the reach for the glimpse with a vision from the Haunt, the Amplify coming from the Slardar, allowing Spectre to beat down on heroes early on with limited items.
Oracle.
And Newbee now grab themselves the Oracle this time round, so preparing themselves for picking a core potentially that is going to have its backside saved.
I mean, this is a little bit strange because it does It does show a lot of weaknesses because you've gotten
10
both your
seconds
supports so
remaining.
early. Neither one of them offer any deep push, and Disruptor is not really known
5
as the strongest
seconds
laning
remaining.
support in general. So I'm wondering if MVP are going to choose to do something like Newbee themselves would, and it's go
Reserve
like a
time.
dual aggressive lane, or try to get something more out of the first 10 minutes of the game, just seeing those supports being picked in such an early fashion and also in a relatively greedy fashion, in my opinion. But maybe clearly have a plan. We'll see what MVP's response is going to be. But I'm guessing with the Naga Siren, you know, they're not going to have any issues taking this game towards the later stages, depending on who plays it. But I'm still kind of, I'm liking MVP's opening a tiny bit more. We'll have to see.
Yeah. Welcome, Magi.
Newbee's
Gonna come back in.
turn to
And
pick.
this is the response to 2 weak laners, right? You pick a hero that just runs at people. It's either the Undying, it's the Ogre Magi, it's the Kunkka. Those types of heroes that just open up opportunities for you to either harass or just straight up go for kills. So MVP being the hyper aggressive squad
10
that they are,
seconds remaining.
they're gonna go ahead and pick the ding 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 guy.
5 seconds remaining.
And indeed a hero as well that isn't going to get taken down easily. I mean, there's a lot of armor on that man, so
8
even a Slardar, you are going to need an item or two before you can jump in on a support such as the Ogre. And woo, Drow Ranger
MVP's
will
turn
make it through to
pick.
4th pick from Newbee. And this is, I guess this is one of the ways of dealing with an Naga. You put on the pressure, you win the lanes, and I guess this is looking to be Newbee trying to make sure that this doesn't turn into a 60+ minute
10
epic.
seconds
It
remaining.
makes more sense after having seen the supports and the fashion that they were picked, that they picked this hero,
5
because it makes the
seconds
supports a
remaining.
lot better in lane by having the extra bonus damage from the marksmanship aura, and it kind of fixes a lot of the issues that they would
Reserve
normally
time.
have, as in we have low damage output between the Oracle and the Disruptor over a sustained period of time. Oracle can burst once he gets levels, but like from levels maybe even 1 to 4, it's not super impressive what he offers. It's really once you get to like 7, you have the max Purifying Flames, 1 point into Fate's Edict and False Promise, that he really starts to come into his own. So I'm actually kind of liking Newbee's Drow pick here. Again, it does have its weaknesses. They are lacking disables in a big way right now on Newbee. I mean, their catch is pretty much 100% reliant on the Slardar right now, just getting the Blink Dagger, jumping the Naga Siren, trying to get a glimpse perhaps into a Static Storm, but yeah. Not the scariest team when it comes to picking people off, but it's a very, very strong laning phase now after picking up the Drow.
I mean, when you see the Drow come out, what do you need to pick other gap closers if you're MVP?
I mean, it's always nice, but it depends on the game that MVP want to play. Do they want to try to go head-to-head in lanes, or do they want to just pick something that's going to allow them to draw the game out? It's whatever they feel is the best choice, and sometimes that differs from team to team. You know, we watched Secret play the last series, and they picked this 5-man death ball strat, and they farm with it because they feel like they're not going to be able to win fights, and ultimately that will lead a loss in the game. But you know, it just depends on what they're feeling is the best course of action.
AT's going to come out. It's a hero that's often paired with the Marana, and also a hero that's normally attended to earlier on in drafts, but MVP. They'll sneak it through in 4th pick. And,
It's just
it's I mean, I guess it's great against potential push that
10
Newbee are going to
seconds
come in with
remaining.
as well.
if you flipped the heroes around in this draft and saw Drow
5
first and
seconds
Oracle
remaining.
second, and then Elder Titan first and Ogre second, that would be the beginning of the group stage. Pretty much those
Reserve
heroes.
time.
But we've deviated very, very far from that to a point where instead of Drow Ranger being like super high priority for every team, it's now only seen sometimes, not even in the first phase. And that's how fast tournament metas can develop nowadays. And of course, I think we're either at 99 or now or 100 total heroes picked. So you want to talk about a diverse meta? This is like, you can
That's
do
insane.
almost anything.
And it's still the fact as well that there's heroes that
MVP's
haven't been
turn to
picked that seem viable. You know, that there's no question. I think.
I mean,
that
Lesh and
there's
Lina
more
are
of them going
both-
to be taken.
Yeah, those heroes I feel are both playable.
We
right
have
now.
S4 in this tournament. Lesh is, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That we could see a Lesh. We've got PPD, Treant. He
10
could be touched
seconds
upon.
remaining.
Gyro, I wouldn't be surprised if we see, you know, maybe even Hal
5
one
seconds
day
remaining.
sneak it through.
He's probably the one hero, the Gyrocopter, that I'm most shocked has not been played at least
Yeah.
once.
Yeah, I'd agree.
MVP's
Considering
turn
the
to
ones that have been
pick.
left out. Maybe we'll see an ice carry techies, but we can only dream.
If that happens, I would be so happy.
That'll be the dream.
In the worst kind of meme way. Alright, so this is the
Newbee's
the
turn to
Cormorana, Cornaga, and then
It seems good.
just delay the game as long as we possibly can. We got insane amounts of deep push. This almost looks like an alliance draft, honestly. If you took away the Mirana and gave, you know, like a puck, that would be an alliance draft.
Remaining.
Although, actually, between the Elder Titan and the Ogre Magi, EGM would have to play the Ogre.
So this is an offlane ET?
Yeah.
Okay.
Could be dual offlane, ET Ogre.
Time.
Alright, okay, okay.
It
So
depends.
this, I mean, and you are running the Mirana mid against whatever Newbee are going to pick here, I guess. So
Right.
so Moo's hero. What is your Timbersaur is still in there? I guess this isn't the best of games for a Tim. I mean, the Cottle's a little bit of an issue.
It's still
Or...
okay.
Oh,
how did
we
forget
forgot about the Husker.
Oh god.
How did we forget about that? There was a bloody Oracle.
There was an Oracle
Husker. All right.
I'm just so used to this hero being banned in the second phase that I didn't even think about it.
We forgot about this.
Newbee did
Moo
not.
didn't. Yeah, Moo didn't.
Moo was like, yo,
Yo.
give me the burning spear throwing, man, because that thing...
Okie dokie.
Man,
Yeah,
Huskar with Drow Aura? That is gross. I actually feel so bad for anyone
with
who
Amp
has to
as
lane
well
against
from
that.
Slaughter. Dude. Okay.
Alright, Newbee have the potential to end this game in like 15-20 minutes.
You think that's the case?
I think their lineup
That's
is
the plan.
capable of doing that.
Yeah.
MVP Phoenix, though, with Elder Titan and Coddle, they got some D-push for days. And once MVP gets that Aghanims, once Naga Siren gets the Radiance...
They literally have no physical damage up here. Well, I guess the Naga gets some damage out.
5
Elder
seconds
Titan will help out a
remaining.
little bit.
I think it's more
But-
about just keeping the waves pushed
Wow.
out like forever.
Wow,
Because
wow.
a late game Naga Siren will crush a Huskar.
I still got a Husker. We're gonna go with that. Blink daggers. Do one.
One, yeah.
Will there be a teleport cancel by stop by 10 minutes? Yes, of course there will. We have glimpses in this gameplay with the first triple kill. There's a Husker, son.
Does Glimpse count as a stun
I hope so.
on the compendium?
Otherwise, I'm
predictions?
writing an angry letter to Gabe.
Yeah, a sternly worded letter. But yeah, Newbee have a very, very aggressive lineup, and they can apply just all the pressure in the world.
Yeah, it's. I mean, do they lane it correspondingly as well? Are we going to see some aggression from Newbee, or do they just keep the safe lane as the try lane?
I don't feel like they need to put themselves in a unnecessary, like risky position. They have the heroes that will hit their timing as long as they're getting farm, and they're going to hit their timing so fast by having marksmanship and level 4 precision aura that they can group, they can kill Roshan because they're going to have amp on
30
KP.
seconds
They have
to
Drow Aura,
battle.
so it's going to just drop like a rock. And MVP, they got some really good deep push, but I'm not entirely sold on their ability of taking team fights before their core items are out. So, I mean, it's just about newbies winning their lanes and doing the snowball effect off of their laning phase. It's pretty standard Drow things, but it's made that much more scary by the fact that they have an Oracle Huskar. That makes it just terrifying, actually. And from the looks of things, the lanes are going to be about what we expected.
To kick things off, Moo grabs the bounty bottom, MP grabs the bounty top, and lane-wise, yeah, top lane for Rev. On the Elder Titan, we can see both Febby and Dubu smoked up at the moment on the Cottle and Ogre respectively. And on the bottom lane, last but not least for MVP, will be Qo on the safe lane, Naga Siren. On the mid lane, Moo, over on the side of Newbee. Huskar is his hero. And we'll see the backup from Kaka Oracle. Top lane, that's where we're going to keep our eyes out, because How Drow, Chuan, Disruptor, they could be about to receive a little bit of a surprise. Dubu and Febby ready for a wraparound. MVP getting ready to kick this off on style. If they can find the opening, How and Chuan need to be careful. They do have an Oracle relatively nearby, but MVP starting to move in. Surprise, boys! Ogre's here to stop into the Illuminate MVP. Absolutely beautiful, and Chuan only just gets away. But that's the combo, and Newbee did not expect that or see that coming out whatsoever.
That was slick. That was a very, very well executed gank. They were so confident they could get that kill too. And after just getting the first blood, we already see the Coddle's going to go ahead and TP away. They're going to leave the aggressive dual lane, which is what we expected. But that smoke move, man, who actually sees that one coming? That is so random.
That's absolutely how you kick it off. And of course, last but not least on this bottom lane, we didn't mention it, but we need to KP. Is on the off-lane Slaughter, manning up against Qo's Naga, and indeed, as you said, Febby now joining the forces down bottom with the Cottle play.
It makes more sense to just have him down here after the first kill.
Yeah.
Because the only reason that kill works is because of the surprise factor. If you're just sitting in lane, you know, throwing out random spells, and you have Ignite and no stun, it seems pretty much impossible to get a kill against the tri-lane of Newbee. But because they were just not expecting that level of aggression coming from that angle, it just Very, very quick kill on the drow. And taking the first blood and running is not a bad plan for MVP. Especially considering, you know, you want to stunt the growth of the heroes as much as you can. And it might not slow down House Farm a tremendous amount, but it does put you in a better position at least.
Newbee's going to come to the mid lane, but him picking up the Invis room was spotted out. It would just reveal himself immediately.
Well, that was a misfire.
They try for a chance, arrow.
That was a, I hope you try to dodge my arrow.
He got the range creep. Intended, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, you got Febby coming around as well. He'll get a Illuminate Blast. So he's going to contact an MVP. Thinking about moving in on this one. See how heavy they're going to dive on it. Oh, Newbee, man goes up straight in onto Moo, and they'll take the kill. MVP. Second one so far this game. A reaction from KP. Coming across, but Newbee turns around and gives him a right clobbering. KP won't be able to find anything with this TP reaction. In the first 2 minutes of this game, MVP coming out with the plays.
Their movements are just so crisp. Like, he dodged the ward when Febby was walking towards the middle lane behind the tower, because the ward actually only sees a good chunk of the river. It doesn't see all the way to the rune spot. So unfortunately for Moo, he just didn't scout the keeper getting behind his tier 1, and then all of a sudden you get blasted in the face and you got 3 heroes on you, and you're like, what do I do? Hopefully teammates can TP. And this is kind of one of the problems when you pick 2 supports and neither one of them really has a disable, because you can't stop that gank as those supports. You have to be there before the gank starts in order to prevent it, and unfortunately Kaka and Chuan just were not ready for that.
CS-wise, everything seems to be fairly balanced. The 2 safe laners, 19 for 6, 17 for 2. And the mid lane, 13 for 2, 12 for 6. Off lane, slightly going a little bit better for KP. He's managed to find a bit more farm, and of course, actually had a bit more space on his own, as Frev was helped out at the start, whereas KP's been able to suck up the solo XP. As we can see, he's got about a level advantage on his off lane slider compared to Frev's Elder Titan. Looking to lead in onto Moo. A stomp, it's going to miss. Moo jukes out in between it all, and Newbee will be unable to close in. Top. Kaka takes the rune away from MP. Maybe grabs an illusion, unable to come across for any more action, but we're actually going to see MVP at this point. They do have the 3 heroes around mid, and you know, want to criticize, but that last minute was a little bit ineffective for MVP, as they don't find anything with the presence of those heroes there.
Well, that time they walked through the ward vision.
Yeah.
Febby the first time just got behind the tower and got on the other side of the river without being scouted, but when you see it coming, it's a heck of a lot easier to get out of the way of, and Moo will save himself for a little bit later in this game. But MVP still got 2 kills. The laning phase for Newbee, as expected, once things start to slow down, there's not as many kills going the way of the MVP squad. They're just pulling ahead in farm over time. Like, the Drow's farming very well now. A little bit behind the Naga, but again, that was a Drow who got first blooded, and then the Slardar and the Huskar are sitting at about the same CS.
Febby just let KP have it with a quick blast. Top, Kaka comes in, drops the ward. Let's see if Duba's able to make anything happen here. He's just going to come round by the looks of it.
Oh, bottom lane, KP.
Oh, indeed. Moving forward. He's just go for the straight TP out with the instant. Already used. Anything else that they could do there to stop him? And KP as well with the quick witted, just TP straight to the tower. Making sure he doesn't miss out on any of this XP, so he can still hang around rather than TPing straight back to base.
Well, getting an early amp is awesome this game, because as soon as you get marksmanship aura going on How and you have amp, you can just go kill Roshan, and it's a super fast Rosh, even at this early stage in the game. Mid
lane Moo is starting to break away quite a bit. I mean, 24 against the 17, but more importantly so, he's denying quite a bit from MP, and we can see nearly a full level in difference between these 2 heroes in the mid lane. So Moo certainly having the favourable time. How? Eyes on him, and Newbee, he's going to move in. Brev, ready with the wraparound. There's the backup from Chuan. Pops down the field to try and hold back MVP, and he's trapped both of them. Very nicely played from Chuan, and now, in fact, maybe the turnaround. Thunder strikes onto Forev. Kaka comes around with the Purifying Flames, and they'll punish Forev. Newbee getting themselves the first kill on the board. Chuan could be in trouble as MP comes across with an image rune. Oh, Kaka! With the Fate's Edict, making sure that Starstorms is absolutely screw all. And Chuan is saved by the plays of Kaka, their very nice Oracle performance.
The Forev held his stomp. I don't know, like, if he thought he was going to get stunned or something like that, but he pretty much just didn't cast stomp at all. If he gets glimpsed, I suppose, Chuan was on his game, he probably would have been able to cancel it, but I think you have to at least try to throw out that spell. Otherwise, you know, How just walks it off for free and doesn't go down. It's a little bit unfortunate there for MVP that they weren't able to get the kill they were looking for, but I think for now they're doing enough. It's just that Newbee were always going to win the laning phase, assuming everyone's just sitting in their lanes and farming. But rotations are what MVP can do.
And MVP, they are of course getting a lot of farm on QO. Top of the CS at the moment, 47 for 10. KP's not really been able to do much in terms of stopping QO from getting his farm. He's been consistently using the side camps as well to maximize it in this laning stage. So the Naga is going to get very, very rich. So it'll be interesting to see what Newbee do in response to that. And as we've seen so far, pretty much just Chuan and Kaka staying up top to help out How anytime that they do go on him. And talking about going on people, bottom lane, KP forced back again. Mana leak causing to be a little bit of an issue, and pretty much what's stopping KP from being able to be aggressive against the Naga, as Febi's doing a good job of making sure the space is there for QOs to farm.
At least KP is getting the levels. That's, I think, for him, one of the more important things. Again, having the amp is great. Having the level 4 Slithering Crush is going to be great too. Or sometimes Slardars go 3-3. Depends on the player preference, I guess. But now with the Drow Aura enabled with the marksmanship, we're going to see a huge damage increase, so I would expect Moo to pull even farther ahead of the Mirana. I mean, he's 41 and 17. He's got like half the denies as the Mirana has CS. That just goes to show how dominant he's been. Looks like Kaka and Moo are doing a bit of a rotation here. Realizing that marksmanship is online, they just want to try to get the tower down as soon as humanly possible. Just a very crisp movement over the map. Realizing their timing and should be able to pressure this tower quite a bit.
Yeah, we absolutely just had Moo there being ready to push as well, and likely the MVP come through for a defense. They'll look to just get a bit of damage in return onto the tier 1 mid as MP pushes forward. And just because in the bottom, just QO and Febi maintaining perfect lane equilibrium here. KP coming across, as you said, level 7. But not going to make a move yet. No backup at the moment. Top lane Newbee do finish off the tower as expected. Now we may see a bit of help come in for KP. Chuan's come down with a smoke. He's just hit 6, so has the static storm, and this could be the perfect bait. Already trying to go on to KP now. The Thunder Strike to set up, but immediately QO reacts with the song. Chuan unable to find the setup now. He has got 3 points in the glimpse, but the detection isn't quite there. Does lay down a sentry, but QO already far enough away to stop Chuan from getting the latch. So nice usage there of the song to avert disaster. Nonetheless, Hao's going to come down here as well, and Newbee, even though they don't find the kill initially, they'll try and turn this into another tier 1 push.
And I think with the song being down, you know, a lot of people would look at that gank for Newbee and say, oh man, they didn't kill the Naga. Sure, that's true. But without song, I think Newbee just want to go in.
Found Dubu, but the arrow from MP comes up to KP. It's going to stun him, but the damage isn't there. Kaka healing up the Slardar now with the Fortune Zen to do, but allowing KP to close the gap. Now will take the final touch. They find the kill. At the same time, we can see, yeah, Moo just forcing MP to back away from this whole scenario. Newbee with the second kill on the board. They scan behind the tower. They know that there's some action going on there as Febi hangs around. Newbee. Looks like they're actually going to pull back a little bit here. They're not going to keep the full team down.
Oh, they're going to Rosh. This is, like I mentioned, this is a lineup that can kill Roshan at a very, very early stage in the game, especially when you have the Oracle disarm. And they're showing at least one hero on the map, so this will be very difficult for MVP to anticipate. They're not going to see heroes in lane for a bit, though, so the longer that it takes Newbee to kill this, the more likely that MVP will be able to scout it. They're going to send a Naga Siren Illusion perhaps towards the Roshan, but are they fast enough?
It looks like it might already be done by the time it gets there, at least. By the time
well, now they obviously know now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could be too late.
Yeah, and I think MVP realized this as well. They're not even going to try and head over. So Newbee will get the free Roach. And indeed, it's exact timing that he needed to with this kind of lineup. Who's going to take it? So Aegis on the Huskar, ready for the next.
He's got Armlet too.
Next fight.
So he's got the 34 bonus damage from Precision Aura. Uh-oh, bottom lane.
Yeah, Febi in trouble. KP slithers in, closes the gap, and the damage from Hao, ripping the Keeper of Light to pieces. And now with the man down,
Dire's top tower is
can be ready to push. At the same time, MP actually able to find a tier 1 on his own. More money into the bank of Mirana.
But the true test of Newbee this game is going to be how fast they can take the map control away from MVP. Because for every like CS that QO gets closer to the Radiance, it's going to give Newbee more and more fear.
Oh, QO tries to come in with a Moonlight. The sentry's laid down. The trap's actually not going to be perfect as Chuan unable to catch out The Siren, and now the turnaround is there. Onto KP. Splinter's going to come through. Moose still moving forward. Wants to jump in and immediately looking for NewBee with a blinding light. It's going to make it hard for them to fight. He can't get the punches in onto NewBee. He'll take QO instead. Tron brings him back with the glimpse. But they get a big kill, NewBee. They'll turn it into a tier 1 push.
Dire's top tower
And this is the exact momentum that NewBee were going to be looking for with their lineup. KP, in fact, seeing if he can find himself anything else on the back of this. He spotted out MP. MP, no leap for 6 seconds. Bebby is around, and he'll try and slow down KP with a mana leap, but KP moving forward now. The blinding light's there, but at the same time, Tron gets the vision of a glimpse. MP's leap comes off cooldown just in time. He jumps away. NewBee unable to find themselves another kill over the Naga, but they do finish the tower off, of course. Ow! To making a very aggressive movement there. 12.5 minutes in, 4 for 2. NewBee is certainly starting to get the momentum that they wanted with this draft. Looking over to QO, 2.1k gold, 2.2 pretty much towards the relic. And NewBee are amping up the pressure, quite literally, with KP finding these initiations, and now 1500 towards the Blink Dagger.
You saw how powerful NewBee is in that fight bottom when they get the ensnare off on the KP, and Kaka just puts Fate's Edict on him. He gets arrowed and eats Starstorm and just takes absolutely no damage. And at that point, the arrow is the biggest kill tool I think they have right now. Normally it's just arrow into Starstorm and a dead hero, but if that can't happen, MVP have a significantly harder time getting kills.
Ooh, and NewBee, they found themselves a Duboo. Duboo, he's down, and NewBee again, they'll take a hero, they'll take a tower. And MVP are certainly struggling to stop it at this stage of the game.
This is the train, Owen. This is the train that has no brakes.
This is how you deal with a resident sleeper Naga. You just pick a Huskar, power down lanes, it's working for the time being. You see MP trying to skip the creep wave. And it's actually going to work, there's no creeps with NewBee at the moment, so this push will be stopped.
Well, not yet.
Oh, they're just fighting for it. Okay, the backdoor and regen's not kicked in as of yet. Oh, now it has. Do they care? Looks like they don't. Can they do it? Yeah, oh,
they actually
give it up. No, okay, backdoor regen OP.
He messes up his armor toggle as well.
And is he in trouble now? See, should be fine. Kaka's still there to back him up. There's a false promise available from Oracle if needs it. Ow, hello.
Good pick.
MVP. Removing a fair amount of NewBee's effective right click with that kill. Move, dodging the stomp. AP coming forward. It's going to get held back by Dubu's Fire Blast. And looking for Forev. They get the vision for the glimpse. Forev's going to be crushed down by KP. So 1-for-1 trade. Still hanging around. MVP under the cover of Moonlight Shadow. MP needs to move forward. Can he get an arrow? In a couple of seconds, he's going to have it available. A NewBee with 4 men still standing in the mid lane, and they're about to receive their bonus damage again from the Drow as Hao comes back into the fray. NewBee take a tier 2 at the end of the day, but certainly not without the casualties. But still hitting those timings and getting the objectives that they need done. At the same time, though, QO is continuing to rack up the gold, and he's just about hit that first hurdle as the relic gold is all but complete. Just 30 gold to go.
Yeah, they might actually be holding it like well enough to where QO can get his Radiance and they can start getting that mass deep push that their team is desperately looking for. But MVP, they are looking for a kill and they might find the Drow again.
Here comes the Dubu Febby Forev hype train. Ow. He needs help. There's no tier 1 for any kind of backup to come in. He'll silence Dubu. He's looking for the TP out, but the storm from Forev is there. How? In a whole world of pain. Backup's coming in from KP. Are they going to be able to save him? Oh, the Starstorm is too much. How's been bursted. Now NewBee, the question is, can they actually find him to pick up anything else here? Forev tried for the TP, but the glimpse cancel from Trance there. He stops Kaka. I'll get the kill onto Forever at the same time. Trance, Static Storm onto Dubu. The nuke from Kaka ensures that NewBee find a second kill. They may have lost power, but they hit back hard. Find something in return. Mood Dragon Lance completed along with the armlet. A lot of pings were coming out on him. I think they want to make it go, and indeed they do. QO is going to sing the song of his people. Who's he got backing up? Bebby. The arrow timing is perfect. Instant stun from MP, and it's a long one move. He's got the armlet on. It ain't going to save him. MVP. Beautiful setup. Beautiful follow through.
That's Aghanims as well for MP. So now all of a sudden this Mirana is going to have some crazy deep push potential. Febby, he's level 8. He's only got the 1 point into Illuminate, but he can also go for an Aghanims if he sees that it's necessary, or maybe he might get a Force Staff in this game. Honestly, I think Force is super value here. But yeah, MVP, they're holding on. They're making space for their Naga Siren. They're finding really important pickoffs. Even if the trade in the bottom lane wasn't favorable, they still get a very high priority kill and taking Mu off the map, and more importantly, they're not allowing Newbee to walk up to tier 2s and just freely hit them. They understand the importance of just keeping Newbee on their side of the map or keeping them away from towers.
NewBee is going to get controlled by Chuan, bringing him back into the field. Kaka's there as well. They're just got the burst to bring this man down, but looks like it's going to be hard because back up the splitter catches onto Tron. KP jumps in onto NewBee. They'll finish off the Ogre Magi. Tron Forever just holds back the advance from NewBee. Unlikely that they'll get anything more. You can see towards the mid lane, Moo's already trying to find QO. He's got the completed Radiance. Moo doesn't give a damn. Fire versus fire. Let's see who comes out on top. QO holds him back with the ensnare, but Chuan brings QO back with the glimpse.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Radiance has been completed. The NewBee, they don't give a damn.
They only have 40 seconds, so Roshan, we don't know what the timer is going to be just yet. We have about a minute before we see if it's going to be a long or a short spawn. They can get some damage, but I don't think they're going to be able to do much other than that. I mean, it might be best for them to just rotate to another lane and see if they can kill the tower.
It looks like indeed that is going to be the plan.
Arrow.
Things onto tier 2. Just a little bit too afraid of moving out to me. And that's the problem, of course, with the ever-constant threat of the fact that Hurskar will have Kaka behind him on the Oracle.
Yeah, he's got mech arcanes as well. He's so farmed.
Yeah.
Only 18 minutes in. How does he have those items? He has 19 CS, but he still has arcanes.
He's 404. He's been KSing, kill securing, and it's paying off for the Oracle.
Still looking a little bit sketchy for MVP. If they can get like 1 or 2 decent high ground defense against Newbee's lineup, I think that they'll probably be fine. And obviously they haven't even lost all their tier 2s, and it's about 20 minutes in. So QO halfway to bots now after the Radiance. That's going to be the real tipping point, I feel. Because as I mentioned before, like Newbee, they have one mode of catch.
Ooh, KP gets the blink and the amp onto MP, giving the vision for John to bring him back. Where's your bash? That's not going to happen. The blinding light from Febby, making sure there's no chance for the RNG.
Wow, and he gets an inches.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I guess they lost a tier 2 in that time, so probably still favoring Newbee at the end of the day.
Well, Moo's coming up top to defend here. He's on his own. I wonder if MVP try and make a move. Who have they got? I guess just Febby, QO, and NewBee.
They're pulling in more heroes. They want to go.
Yeah, they can give this a go, but there will be a response from NewBee as TP's come in. Let's see how they go about this. QO looking to set it up, or looks like it's going to be the retreat. Yeah, they're just songing tower onto Moo, but they don't want to try and fight this one. They know that NewBee's already TPing heroes in, and MVP just decide to get the hell out of there.
It makes sense. They don't need to take any aggressive fights unless they know for a fact that NewBee can't be there in force. Because again, the name of the game for them is just try to delay. Keeper, Elder Titan, Naga Siren. You don't need to fight if you don't want to. You can keep the lanes pushed. You can be a nuisance. You can force NewBee all over the map. Try to do your split pushing. And that's the other thing too, is having 2 really good split pushers, and MP's Mirana, and then QO with the Naga Siren in conjunction, and only having like 1 reliable catch, which is the Slardar. That's really going to hurt NewBee towards the mid-late game.
QO, the next hurdle complete, as you said, he was coming up to the box finish. So QO, especially with the coordination of Febby's Kotl as well, will be able to keep good control across the map, pressuring the lanes back out, making Newbee's advance harder and harder. They have been trying to kick off. I mean, as we can see, what, 21 minutes in, NewBee have been able to take all but
they barely missed the scan. They're not going to see them going into Roche. Man, that sucks. That scan was so close to hitting one of the heroes there.
I mean, the thing is, even if they saw it,
yeah,
you're not getting there.
It probably wouldn't.
You're not getting there with no towers around this area as well to TP to.
The thing is, if you see him with the scan, you can at least, go all in on the tower.
It's true.
Instead of just sitting there and being like, oh, we don't know where they are. Because you could tell by their positioning that they were unsure if NewBee were smoked looking for them or if they were just going for the Roche. But the ward, of course, scouted out the entirety of MVP on the side of Newbee, so they smoke up here. They want to fight so badly right
They
now.
can find Q on the back as well. I think Q thinks he's safe, but whoa, Chuan, he's got something to say about that immediately. But the glimpse, oh, it's a bit mistimed. It might not matter though, because Moo jumps in, sentries down.
His song was 1 second on cooldown.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
1 second.
That is gonna hurt indeed, Febby. You better run, son. He's got a second left of Moonlight to get himself into the tree line, and looks like he will be okay. MP coming across. For Hao, potentially Hao. He's got Kaka in the neighborhood as well, so Hao's going to be fine. No way that MVP can do anything about this. Still 20 seconds without QO's Naga. And Hao, he is getting pretty stacked. He's going to be stacked enough though. MVP are coming across. MP leading the way. Getting towards Kaka, but the silence from Hao and the physical damage, and MP's dead. He did not want to walk into that one. Not the plan there from MVP. KP, he's already got more in his mind. Looking to Dubu. Dubu holds him back with the Fire Blast. That's the help of the mana leak from Febby. And so it will stop KP for the time being. Now he's going to move forward, and looks like he can still close the gap against Dubu. Getting the crush off Dubu, brought back. Chuan says, give that kill to Kaka. He says, okay, as Kaka now hits a mega kill streak on Oracle. 5-0-6. The buff continues, and Newbee continue to get these kills that they need to in order to maintain this early game momentum that they want to with this draft.
Still on the driver's seat for sure, and even now, Hao has the Aghanim Scepter completed.
Oh boy.
And there's Aether Lens on the Disruptor, so his ability to glimpse is going to be amplified even more so. I like the choice of Aghanims on Hao, because it's going to be extremely difficult to push the high ground of MVP, so it's nice to have an item that not only deals with illusions very well from the Naga Siren, but allows you to effectively farm the map when you know that MVP most of the time are going to be sitting inside of their base.
Thanks for the Ancient.
Yep, easy peasy. This is a really nice choice this game.
I'll see how hard Newbee want to go, and they still have that Aegis, of course, on Huskar. MVP unable to break the life of this man as of yet, since he picked it. See how well MVP can hold back this push. Eliminate, that's not going to bother Moo quite a bit. He does not give a damn, and he'll just stand there. The heals are going to be stacked up by Kaka, allowing Moo to hold his ground. MVP trying to stop this. Just look at the damage. There's a stomp going to come out. The tower, it's going to grow hard, but it instantly goes down. Doesn't last long. Needs a pill for that. Forward, arrow onto Moo. But this is the power of Newbee's push. They just do not care. I mean, MVP can push them around, throw them up in the air. But Newbee just continue to hold their ground here.
They have backdoor protection now, though, because they killed the creep wave so fast that, you know, Newbee are unable to really deal damage to the buildings until their next wave gets here.
And we have, there's the backup. The next wave comes into Siege Creep as well. That'll do well. It's going to be harder for MVP to take that one down.
The Siege Creep's not entering the base of the backdoor protection. Oh,
they got it, they got it.
No. I just mean like it's standing close enough to the point where the backdoor protection isn't activating because the catapult's hitting the base.
It's in perfect position. Good job, Cardi.
Cardi is actually the MVP of this push.
Better positioning than Envy, that car.
That's for sure. We need a threat about that. Alright, so Rack's taken down here for Newbee. I don't think that MVP are quite capable just yet. The Naga Siren has 3,000 gold though, in addition to her Radiance and bots. I wonder if it would have been better for QO to just back and try to spam out with the rest of his team, instead of just sitting up there and just getting the tower kill. It's hard to say, because if you go back and you still don't defend, then it's worse to have the Naga sitting there. But at the same time, if you successfully defend, or at least get them away from your racks before they take it down, and that's with them having an Aegis, then that's a huge win for MVP. So it's kind of like this 50-50, where if you defend, it's really good, but if you don't, and the Naga's in your base, it's like 10 times worse. MVP though, going for this Morana OP gank.
I'll see what they can do with this. They are going to meet the side of Newbee head on if they come up onto the high ground. Newbee just clearing out yet again another ancient stack. Loads of money in the bank for Hao. Insanely rich at this stage. But Aegis has gone on move. We'll see how much of a stop they'll put to Newbee's pressure, but I have a feeling Newbee don't give a damn, especially the Satanic.
Oh boy. Okay, I don't think he with the Oracle, it's going to be real hard to kill him. There's even a a medallion on the Slardar now too. And he's got only about 800 more gold until Solar Crest is done. And then Solar Crest, Huskar with Drow Aura with Satanic. How do they kill that with their heroes? They, like you mentioned during the draft, they just don't have any physical damage. They don't even have tier damage. They can kill the creep waves, that's fine, but they can't kill the Huskar.
They really can't. I mean, this was the thing when it was picked up in the draft. We always knew there was going to be an issue.
Dire's middle tower
And,
is
I
under
mean, did we know
attack.
it would be this much of an issue? Well, seeing as much of Huskar as we have, we probably did. It's not a surprise that Moo is
But that's why this
pretty
patch,
unstoppable.
this patch is so difficult, because there's just so many heroes that are good and so many different strategies that can just counter things that sometimes you just forget about one hero. And then it's like, boom, you get Huskard, or you get Alchemist picked against you, and you're just like, oh, all of a sudden now if we don't just hold this pressure off, we just lose.
Oh, Newbee, once again, looking for a repeat of the action in the mid lane. Let's see if MVP have a better chance of stopping it this time.
It doesn't look like it.
Oh, tier 3 already down to half health and falling quickly. They have Song, they have tools of their capability, but is it enough to deal with this? The arrow's going to miss Moo, hits onto the car. MVP jumps in, doing their best to just clean out the wave. But Newbee, again, they just stand their ground. MVP, unable to push them back. Well, literally Febby can, but oh. Gonna smoke up, maybe seeing if they could try and jump in, but I don't know. They seem to be throwing everything. They're pressing all the buttons, but it's just not working.
Huskar just doesn't care. He just doesn't care. Well, I do have backdoor protection for the time being, so that's going to be nice. But Satanic's going to be up in another 3 seconds, so Moo's just going to get another full heal.
I mean, this is
Dire's middle
you know,
tower
Kyo
is
is doing his
under
best to cut
attack.
the wave. As you can see, the whole Newbee back up to the wave going, hang on.
Yeah, no, he's doing what he can. To
And it is working to an extent, but
the reality is Kyo needs like 2 more items if he wants to fight this, because he's not going to be able to fight with just having the Manta style after the Radiance. That's not enough survivability. He's going to get blown up. He knows that the best solution for him is to just try to stop the creep wave from getting to the base in the first place.
I mean, at this point as well, he's MPRing the creep, but that's the objective here. You need to kill these creeps. Newbee. All right, couple of shots and he's down, amplifying the right click from Hal. Newbee's not going to be able to live through that.
Either. I mean, the thing that's really harsh about this for MVP is that Roshan's going to be up in 2 minutes, so when this set of racks go down, I mean, I assume Newbee are going to be able to finish this off.
Let's look at this, an instant crush into death for Febby. This is the thing, if Newbee can get a jump on you, the rest of the team just fired into you. In this game, I mean, 30 minutes in, 15-5, 2 full sets of racks down on MVP's side of the map. It's beginning to look like the beginning of the end potentially for MVP, unless they can pull something huge out of the bag. The Huskar is certainly doing it again. Huskar, Drow, Oracle. Think it's nothing less than disgusting, and well, you'd be right. It's
pretty filthy. This
is
big pen status coming in here from Newbee, but it's working very, very well, and they took a systematic approach to the game. They saw, all right, we're gonna take Roshan instead of pushing in down towards bottom lane, because we know that getting the Aegis is pretty much what our lineup is meant to do. We have this insane physical damage, we have amp, we want to make sure that we get every single advantage going away before we even start trying to push, because as long as we don't give away too many kills, our lineup is going to come to its fruition much faster than MVP. And MVP did, you know, I think a lot during the laning phase considering their heroes. I mean, heck, they first blooded the Drow, and then they just said, okay, we'll rotate bottom, we get another kill on middle lane. Everything seemed to be going okay, but it was not enough to stem the tide that is Newbee.
Newbee. Time to look for the third lane. And I saw the standing between them and Megas. Oh, KP jumping onto MP and again.
That damn.
This is starting to get incredibly painful. I mean, if it wasn't already for MVP.
That's only level 2 amp. That's just gross.
It pretty
how much
much
damage that does.
Seems to just be a perfect draft from Newbee. And MVP, I think it's safe to say they were not ready for the Huskar.
The funny thing is, if yesterday you saw that a team got Drow and Huskar and like
Oracle.
the 3rd and 4th pick, they'd be like, how did they get these heroes so late in the draft? But that's Dota, man.
Dire's
Sometimes
middle
stuff
tower
just
is under
changes.
attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Nice, look at this.
Backdoor protection.
Yeah, you don't need it.
Doesn't need
Radiant's
it.
Who cares about that? If you're Newbee and you're dishing out this amount of damage, I mean, how much is Drow giving out? 64 to each teammate.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Absolutely crushing performance here from Newbee.
64 damage is basically the equivalent of a 3,800 gold item. Pretty decent.
And again, it's feels like we've seen this before. Moo just up to the high ground on the lane. MVP, they'll throw everything at him. And maybe bringing him down low, but the false promise is there, and he just turns around, jumps onto Dubu. A song will buy some time for the side of MVP for Rev. Only just getting himself out. Let's see what the follow-up is. You've already used the Earth, but then move straight back up to full health after the false promise. And it is going to look like Mega Creeps. Favoring the side of Newbee. Dubu!
Oh my god!
Oh, this is...
That man disintegrated.
There's not a lot more to be said about this game.
Now have
I
Mega
can say as much as that.
So when you have Enter Vitality on and you pop Satanic and get off like 3 auto attacks, you're not dying. That you just go to full HP instantly. And with that, Newbee, if they want to feel super safe, they can just go kill Roshan because it's up now. But I think MVP are more or less just contemplating what their plan is for the next game, because this one is looking like it's all about in the books.
Unless they can do some insane Naga action.
Dude, it's
Some insane.
the problem, Owen, is that even if they push out 2 lanes, Newbee can just walk down 1 lane and they will never be able to kill Moo. Ever. Like, unless he just gets up and walks out of the room, the man is not gonna die. I haven't even seen more than 1 time this game where they had to use False Promise on him in order to keep him alive.
Immortality.
Another Roshan.
And they just bought 2 Lotus Orbs.
Oh dear.
2 Lotus Orbs, now How has Satanic. Like, just look at the advantage they have.
I'm looking at it. Do.
It's not quite to the same extent as the advantage that Ehome had against Secret the other day when it was a 61-minute game, but it's getting there.
And here is, I believe, the push you're talking about, Newbee. Just going to barrel down the mid lane. And KP. Moving in onto MP. Move. Getting ready to get us to position. 1, 2. Give it a few. Now, takes down 1. MP. He's going to fall as well. There's 2 dead on MVP. They're on to the tier 4s, and GG is called. Huskar, ladies and gentlemen, still getting through drafts at this stage of the group stages.
I think it's a little bit different as we kind of roll on to the later parts of, the final day at group stage, because first he was highly prioritized, and I've even seen games where he's just been ignored. And then you see this game, and it just shows the power of the right pick in the right situation. Obviously, Huskar, he's not even really a niche pick, but he can be abusable. And I think that's what Newbee was